We got all the games are going, so
Even Daniel's dad joked to me about Botez. She's the gold standard.
won't say of what. All right, I'm gonna start it. So any controversial is gonna have to wait
Yeah,
until after. All right, here we
Well,
go.
she's like the Queen's Gambit.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Oops. Okay, everyone, welcome to the Mechanics Institute. We are following the championship round of the John Donaldson Championship here at the end of December. I'm Abel Talamantes, chess director of the Mechanics Institute. Joining me is Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. And this is round 6 of 6, the final round of the Donaldson Championship. And on the top board, actually, this is board 2 right now, but we have Grandmaster Jim Tarjan playing black against Stratus Jr., who is Alan Finkelstein, who's had the tournament of his life here, drawing with Grandmaster Gadir Gusenov, and we'll take a look at his game in a second. And then defeated International Master Elliot Winslow and National Master Michael Walder. And then scoring another draw, leading to where he's at now. And here it is against Tarjan. What do you think? And welcome back, guys.
Hey, I was just wondering why this kind of thing isn't more popular for black.
This kind of setup.
Yeah, this old Dutch stuff that, the Botvinnik used it and Alekine used it and all these great players. And then it just kind of like pretty much disappeared. And, it seems to me Tarjan's right to bring this old stuff back and give it a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Probably a good choice against a young player. If you're playing Petrosian, you may not like it so much.
That's right. So it was Petrosian who put the Dutch out of business?
Oh, he always loved playing against the Dutch.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the board. Actually, this is the board 1 matchup. And then let's take a look at board 2 with Grandmaster Gadir Gusenov against Nicholas Wang, Ninja Force. And this is definitely a battle of the GMs against the kids for the tournament supremacy. What do you think of this setup for Gusenov?
I don't know. If I was black, I don't think I would have chosen that moment to castle for some reason.
You're afraid he's going to get checkmated?
Yeah, I'm frightened of that. There's the Grandmasters just played Bishop H6 and
Are we gonna see H4 and H5 and all that stuff?
exactly. You know what Fisher said? Sack, sack, mate. It's like.
And if things go as planned, Tarjan and Gusenov will tie for first. But the kids are going to have something to say about it, and they're sure not afraid to throw their hat in here and shoot for an upset.
Yeah, well, they've really proven themselves, even if they lose the last round. But they're not planning on losing.
That is not on their mind for sure. And going to the top
I
board.
like White here, who's playing with an extra pawn almost.
Got the open F file, and since he's castled queenside, he's already signaling that he's ready to launch right on the king side.
Yeah, but these positions are too. I don't understand them very well.
In the old days, you're just like the white side, but it's a variant of this Sicilian.
Yeah.
So
who's on board 3?
board 3 is Artem Hirukin against Shakit Sivakumar. So let's go to that game. Let me find.
Now, surely these guys are competing for some prize money too, huh?
Yeah, we haven't finalized the prize, but I think we got 88% or 90% of the expected because the $2,000 combined prize pool was based on 50 paid entries, and we ended up with like 46 or so. So fantastic!
Oh,
Yeah, we're pretty happy that we got a very nice turnout. So
Yeah.
And here it is, board 3. Artem is Fugon. He is white against Shakit Sivakumar, who is black. And unfortunately, I think he is the player that had to take the 0-point buy for the previous round. But looking to make up some ground here.
Well, there should be a few more bishops to fianchetto.
Maybe they can each place their knights there. Go that route.
I mean, this is another kind of opening that just looks sort of equal to me.
So let's take a look at the top board in the under 2,000 section because they are playing for some dollars as well. This is board 1 in the under 2,000. Rithwik Narendra against Stephen Witt. And Stephen Witt right now, who is black, he's in Seoul first with 4 out of 5. Rithwik with 3.5.
Well, I always like white in these kind of positions because there's attacking chances. But that's just, prejudice. It's also, Karpov was the master at the black side of these positions, I think.
And what do you mean by these positions? Like what kind of position?
Isolated queen pawn. All the pieces on the board. Attacking players tend to like the white side, I think, because you can, mate on the king side. Other players might choose like the black blockading the deep pawn and
yeah, but this one's a little nicer for white than usual, though.
Yeah, it is.
Somehow the bishop on c8 will take a little time to get out. It's just a little more lively for the white pieces.
Yeah, white's doing quite well here.
And Vishva Nanuganda is in the chat saying he blundered already. So this is something like the players, they'll blunder. They'll blunder in their game, then they'll come to the chat and just announce it to the world and possibly the opponent.
Right, and also maybe they're fishing for us to have a look at it and,
Give them some bad ideas.
Yeah, I mean, this is a USCF rated tournament, right?
And he's saying don't go look at it. I might pull it up now.
Yeah, we should look at it and then just give the.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it now.
And then we can sort of grimace.
So bear with me, people, as I look up this. It's board 6.
We're in it for the fun.
There it is. All right. On request. Here we go. Let me find it. And he's playing Jacob Chiang, and yes, he most definitely blundered something. So Vishwa's black.
We're not allowed to say anything, Nick.
Yeah, especially as he watches.
Because the players in the chat.
But I think
can I count the material?
Yeah. I mean that's statement of fact right there. Right?
Yeah.
So it looks like we're short a piece and a pawn.
Well, the exchange.
Or is it the? Oh, it is the exchange.
And 2 pawns.
And 2 pawns.
It is the exchange. So, all right. So we've done our due diligence with that.
We looked at it.
Let's take a look. And even he's in the chat telling us exchange in 2 pawns. So, hey, Yeah, we appreciate your watching and
Were,
following.
were we giving away too much information?
And since we gotta give it. Oh, Nick, Neil Bruce is saying in the Twitch chat he's a fan of your MCO.
Well, thank you, Neil Bruce. That's it does need to be updated, I have to say.
When was the last edition?
Oh, that was over 10 years ago. So
Wow. Well, I mean, the old theory is still good. My theory ends more
And
than 10 years ago.
and Sean Kelly is in the chat saying hi. I see, Sean, that you won your game pretty quick, so you finished with 4 out of 6. Fantastic, and thanks for joining the Mechanics Online Club, which you did about a month ago or so. So thank you for joining. And this is board 1 in the under 1600 section. Sebi Suarez, the Sebi Meister, is playing Adrian Cheng. And both players, they're the only two players with 4 out of 5 in that section. So this is the championship game, it looks like.
And I completely agree with Neil that for most players under 2200, MCO is more than enough.
Definitely.
When I started playing chess, I had MCO, and that worked for me for years. That was all I needed.
I remember when I was young, I was getting my MCO at the bookstore. I was going to read it cover to cover, and of course never did.
Well, it's more of a reference book. I always thought of it as a reference book.
Yeah, but when you're young and coming up, you're like, all right, I'm gonna learn this all. I'm gonna learn it all, and I don't think I even learned one variation from it out of my own laziness, not because the info wasn't good.
So a curious move here, H3.
Begging for bishop takes H3.
Yeah. What happens there?
Oh, wow.
Maybe that wasn't such a great move.
Yeah, I might have missed that.
Queen takes B7, and it's like suddenly a whole can of worms opened up, but I don't think white wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Very odd.
That would literally be baiting, right? Where hey, take the bait.
I think there was no harm for white to just play maybe pawn to D5 instead of all this.
And that's exactly right, Neil Bruce. It's a good "what the heck is this opening" reference book.
Yeah.
Right?
And then there was Batsford chess openings that was
right.
that was just too ridiculous. That was Kasparov and Nunn, right?
Well, Eric Schiller worked a lot on the first Batsford chess opening.
Yeah.
It was technically Kasparov, but Schiller wrote most of it.
Interesting. Collaboration.
And here we are back to board 2 with Grandmaster Gusenov and Nicholas Wang.
So there's a poisoned pawn. Well, it's definitely poisoned. Bishop A2, pawn G4. Knight E2 is a nice looking move, huh? Taking away a lot of squares from black.
And where is
That's what
that?
Nick would say, taking away the squares. See, there's think like a grandmaster and drink like a master, but there's also say it like a grandmaster,
You need to write a book, Paul.
Well,
like chess sayings for that'll last an eternity.
a luft that doesn't luft.
And that's Mike Walder watching us here. Let's go to board 1 with Jim Tarjan as black against Alan Finkelstein, who is Stratus Jr.
Ooh, look at that, chasing down that bishop.
But couldn't he just go... oh, wow. Yeah, he can't go bishop b8 because of bishop a3.
Yeah, I mean, funny thing happened here is that White took on d5 at a point where black couldn't take back with the e-pawn. And that's usually a good exchange for white. So I'm not sure. I mean, just generally speaking.
Yeah, you have to like white somewhat in this position.
Long range, yeah.
It's not horrible for black, but bishop pair, it's what's black's plan.
Well, this is also like back in the old days, black used to put the bishop on e7 and be terrified of exchanging that bishop. Now I think they play it where they're more like, let's just, we don't mind the bishop getting taken. So maybe Tarjan is actually more with the times here by just giving away the bishop on d6 easily like that. I don't know.
I would take that bishop, move the rook on f1 to c1, just slowly play like the Trojan.
Yeah,
And
Trojan.
for those watching, this is round 6 of the Mechanics Institute. I am John Donaldson Championship, and I've put the link there if you want to see the pairings and the standings. And that is what we're doing here.
So rook fc1, queen d6, rook fc1, rook c8, queen d1. Yeah.
And this is Grandmaster Jim Tarjan playing black against Alan Finkelstein.
Boy, Alan has had a great tournament in this game. He continues to play well.
Yeah, it's something about like the young players where sometimes they finally get like their breakthrough. I know Judith and I were talking earlier about Andrew Ballantyne, who's playing in the under 1600. He played our Scholastic tournaments for a while, and had good results, and then average results, and kind of kept steady. But the last couple of tournaments, he's been having some breakthroughs, and it's just the constant play and the perseverance and the persistence, and things are starting to click, and it's good to see that. And I think Alan's having that type of a tournament.
I agree, Nick. I think black has a difficult game here.
We get to see Tarjan working there.
Maybe, yeah, that's right.
And let me go to the board 4 game between Shashwath Sivakumar and Ishan Guha, just because the position looks interesting. This is board 4 in the open section.
Wow, giving up that bishop.
Yeah, and then the last move, he just took the knight right there.
It's an odd move. Maybe he's going to play f6 and knight a4 or something. Still, it's a funny looking move. But it does take control of the light squares on the queen side. Or maybe, I don't know. It looks dubious. For sure.
And
it looks almost desperate.
And looking at a match in the under 2000 among mechanics, True Blood, this is Akko Hidari against Jonah Bush.
Yes, true blood. Love to see them play in the Tuesday night marathon.
Yeah.
Well,
was exchange down or so.
Well, if bishop takes a1, bishop c5, and even pawns.
Yeah, no, it's straight out even.
I don't know who's doing what to whom here.
A lot of bishops flying around.
Yeah.
And if you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us. Round 6 of 6 of the John Donaldson Championship.
I guess white gets to play rook d7. Maybe. Bishop f6, rook d7.
And then save the pawn with pawn to b6.
Yeah, which attacks the bishop, yeah.
Probably about even.
If white can get in a quick knight g5, no, yeah. Probably about even.
And
Yeah.
let me go back to the board 2 match between Grandmaster Gadir Gusenov and Nicholas Wang. As predicted, Gusenov is starting to launch the pawns on the king side.
And black's just going to have to weather the storm here. Find some defensive moves, because white's got a quick buildup over there. Knight g3, knight f5 check, all kinds of attacking ideas.
Would you slow down and guard your A pawn, Paul?
A pawn? Oh, I don't know. That's a good point.
That little thing, you didn't even notice it, did you?
I noticed it the last time we looked at it, but this time you're right. I just completely didn't see it.
You were focusing in on that checkmate and, can't be bothered with that little stuff.
Yeah, I mean, King B1 is maybe too cautious. Well, now black has a tempo to do something else, but I mean, white wasn't winning right away.
But like, what is black gonna do about the king side? Do you sort of like keep your pieces there to sort of keep balance, or do you keep pursuing activity on the queen side?
If I'm black, I'm not feeling too comfortable here.
It's hard to get squares in the center, and certainly on the king side.
But I can see why white played King B1. It's a useful move. I mean, it has a lot of defensive potential. It increases white's defensive potential huge. Knight C1 can be played, and the pawn at A2 is protected. Now white can just concentrate on the king side. It's worth the tempo, of course.
And let's do a check-in on Grandmaster Jim Tarjan.
Well, it looks like white's playing a perfect game.
Solid so far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, white is better. What do you think, Nick? How much better?
He sticks his knight on E4 now. And we've normally seen Jim, when he's played his games at Mechanics, keep things solid, and then he just busts it open at the right time. And I'm wondering if this is a little bit of it. It's almost like you're inducing your opponent to a mistake or overplay.
Abel, he's become kind of a regular member of the Mechanics and played for the team and things.
Yeah.
This is in the online world. Can you remember him being at the club in the last couple of years?
Jim?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so he came out of retirement and came and joined the Mechanics and started taking out tons of books before he moved up to Oregon. And he played Hans Niemann. There's a photograph of him playing Hans Niemann at the club.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a cool picture.
Yeah,
And
no,
Richard Hack saying
it's
during a Blitz event.
yeah, and so Tarjan showed up for and was regularly leaving the mechanics with armfuls of books. Then he goes to the Isle of Man and beats Kramnik, and then he moves up to Oregon, like just a couple of years later.
And Richard Hack's thinking it was the Brandywine Whitehead shut Blitz, probably, that they played.
Yeah, to Tarjan, yeah, yeah. So Tarjan, he showed up and then he left. Like, who was that masked man? You know,
The Shadow. Only the
the
Shadow knows.
shadow. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the top game in the under 2000 with Ritwik Narendra and Stephen Witt.
Oh, well, things have happened.
Yeah. Oh, White's looking quite nice here.
Yeah, it's looking pretty solid.
A lot of space. Two bishops. Yikes.
Probably a good description. Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes has been called here. And this looks close to a winning position for White. You can see Kasparov figuring out how to blow Black's position open here. C6 or knight d4 or something like that. I don't think Black would last long here against a strong player.
And I want to take a look at this game here. This is in the under 2000. It's Matteo Hansen as White against Programming Max, who is Marina Zhao, and she plays Tuesday Night Marathon and what have you. And she seems to be a very up and coming, strong player, who I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about, as well as her brother, because her brother Michael Zhao is in the under 1600 as one of the top scorers. So let's look for this sibling pair.
She's Black here.
Yes.
Nice position for Black. She's only used 9 minutes, or 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And
I like those young players. Remember Anand used to play all his games in 15 minutes or something like that against like elite grandmasters.
Yeah, when you're that talented, just rip off the moves.
Yeah. This looks like a winning position for Black.
yeah, it sure does.
Change up. Back on the kings.
So we'll keep an eye on her as things develop. Let's go back to board 2 with Gusenov and Nicholas Wang.
So how does White proceed? If you move any of those kingside pawns, you give away a square or two. But it looks so powerful with those knights there, the pawns controlling the king side. Maybe a rook to the F file.
Well, knight h5 check right away would be interesting too.
Yeah, you'd have to take it with the knight.
And then pawn takes. And the G file's already open and the pawn, I don't know. Maybe.
And tomorrow, for all the chess fans watching, if you're watching and listening, in our chess cafe at the Mechanics Institute, which is a virtual cafe, you log in, you hang out with Nick DeFermian and Paul Whitehead and a lot of other people. Usually Alexi Roots in there, is Elliot Winslow. And tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time, John Donaldson himself will be in the Chess Cafe talking about his new book on Bobby Fischer. And he says that Nick and Paul are in the book. So we could talk a little bit about that and some new information and new games that he uncovered in his research. He says it's a over 600-page book. I put the link in the chat. So 4 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, Chess Cafe. Come hang out with us and listen to John Donaldson discuss Bobby Fischer and who knows what else. Because
I think that's fantastic.
Anything goes in the Chess Cafe.
Yeah.
Vale todo.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right, let's check on Tarjan. Tirantes. Time control is game in 60 plus 5. It is USCF rated, this tournament.
So, Nick, what about pawn to e3 here and then knight to e5?
Yeah, I mean, white is better. There's nothing immediate and there's nothing easy. You have to slowly nurture the advantage. So maybe Tarjan is happy. He's got a position. There's no immediate tactical problems. His opponent has to think on how to proceed. So, against a young player, maybe he's happy with this position.
Right. But Stratus Jr. is what, 15, 16?
Yeah, something.
No longer a young player.
no longer. Well, I know you're like over the hill now. If you're like 16 years old.
Well, maybe this is his breakthrough tournament.
And let's switch to the top board in the under 1600. Like stuff happened quick because I think it looked like Sebi was ahead, but Adrian Cheng has turned the tables. It looks like.
Ooh, now Sebi will be lucky to get a draw.
And he did.
Yeah, it's tough.
He did offer a draw, which Rice Chessmaster declined. Now this is
Who's Rice Chessmaster?
Adrian Cheng, who is also a Scholastic player.
Oh. Now, is it your queen, and is there any perpetual? Queen F5 check, G6, and I don't see a check.
Is there any way to... Uh-oh.
G6.
Or, well, this works. Oh, that complicated it a bit, maybe. No, he's out.
Oh, yeah, because you got Queen H1, right?
Yeah, well...
But you won't even need that. Yeah.
Black has mate in 1.
He's thinking...
Oh, wow.
Abel would have just knocked it down.
Yeah. Yeah, even I saw
that. He didn't play it.
He didn't play it. Queen H1.
Well, Queen T8 is pretty good, too. There's no way white can even hope to draw this.
You can never say never. Never say never.
Even these passive moves by black, like bringing both queens back down to the back rank, is more than sufficient.
Oh, yeah,
it's just brutally, like, this is see this piece of wood, see this nail. This is your coffin I'm making.
Like they're making you dig the hole or something, right? All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is actually, you know what? I like this kind of technique. I think this is very good. Seriously. I mean, there's something to be said about it.
About the quiet, steady.
Just the whole way of thinking behind that is good chess thinking. It may not be the most efficient, but it's certainly good enough,
So Richard,
Queen H1 mate, that was for Potsers, Paul.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Yeah, that wasn't very
That's too easy.
not artistic
Too,
enough for
it
me.
is too easy. And Adrian Cheng has closed the show and won against Sebi. So congratulations, Adrian Cheng. He is 5 out of 6, and he has won the under 1600. So congratulations to him. And here we have Nicholas Wang has the pawn on A3. Does it mean anything? What do you guys think?
I think Gusenov is better watch out for Queen B2 mate. You know, in his future.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get.
Uh-oh. And yep.
I'm going to rewind my Twitch stream.
Oh, something. Yeah, do that because I disconnected.
I just did.
And let's see if we reconnect. Okay.
Oh, so we all disconnected, huh?
Yeah, well, I think I disconnected here because there is internet issues. But let's see. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my Twitch to reload.
Yeah, let me see here. That's kind of a bummer. Let's see if it reloads or if I have to like restart it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like.
What is a Potzer move?